Welcome to the Live Explore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe.
I'm here with Kimo Garrigan, founder of Kai Outrigger Canoe Club, located right here in Petaluma. The club operates out of the marina next to the Sheraton Hotel. I'm Alan Mayseal. Welcome, Kimo.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here.
Hey, what does Kai, first of all, how do you say it? Is it Kai Vi?
If you're coming from Hawaii, the W is always pronounced a V, Kai Vi. And most of the other part of the world, it'd be Kai Y. So there's no right or wrong way to say it.
Okay, and what does Kai Vi mean?
So Kai Vi is really, in Hawaiian, it means water. It's two different types of water. So Kai Y would be salt water, Y would be fresh water. So we want to be known as a freshwater and saltwater outrigger canoe club.
Okay. When was Kai Vi founded?
Oh, man.
The local one here in Petaluma.
2019.
Okay.
2019, 2020, we started with a handful of paddlers, and then COVID hit, so we kind of were around, but we really didn't start hitting the ground and getting members and more canoes until 2020, 2021. Okay.
And then where do the canoes come from? I mean, do you refer to them as outrigger canoes? Canoes? What are they called?
So usually we'll say canoe, but you'll hear them say va'a a lot, V-A-A, and in Hawaii it's just a canoe, va'a, wa'a, W-A-A, or va'a. Canoes, boats, outriggers, it's all kind of, we know what you're talking about if we're talking about outriggers. So, and the canoes, when we started the club, they had started in the Salton Sea down in Palm Springs, and we took over that nonprofit. But it came with two canoes, two Malias, which are heavier, older canoes, and we ended up purchasing one Tahitian unlimited canoe from some Tahitians that were brand new down in Newport, and then when we were there, we ended up purchasing a ultralight Puakea, which is one of the first prototypes of the Puakea ultralight canoe. So right off the bat, we had two heavy boats and two ultralight boats for competition, and then we ended up purchasing another one from a fellow club, Heinalu, and they sold us a spec boat, which is full fiberglass, and we ended up revamping that and fixing it and painting it our colors, and so now we have 5 canoes. But
you also have one that you're trying to purchase.
Yes.
That is scheduled to arrive sometime in 2023.
Yes. So we've fundraised enough for the down payment, and we will be fundraising for the rest of that. So it'll be the newest and greatest ultralight canoes from Puakea.
Perfect. And so the cost of the new canoe is
$25,000.
Perfect. Okay, so you're fundraising. Now, so who's the demographic? I mean, for this club, is this for, older people, adult people, kids? Who's this for?
So we're fortunate enough to have a kids program, and our kids program is called Keiki. Keiki means kids in Hawaiian. So not a lot of clubs, so Kai Vi Outrigger, not a lot of clubs have kids programs. It's just a little bit more work, or there isn't enough Keikis in the area to get. So we're fortunate enough to have Keikis. We take 7-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds, 90. If you can get in the canoe, we'll put you in the canoe and we'll teach you how to paddle.
That's fantastic. So I'm a member of the club, full transparency here. Mm-hmm. And I did get to race once. And it was from the North Tower of the Golden Gate Bridge up along the Sausalito waterfront. And it's something different. If you haven't watched it, or more importantly, get into one of the canoes, that's different. How would you describe the atmosphere on a race day? I'm a runner. And so I've seen that and been in that. But my one appearance in a race, I mean, it's a little bit different. And how would you describe it? You've done this before.
Yes, I can't even count how many races. I got to be up, I don't even know, maybe up in the hundreds of races, different races. So we have regattas, which are short races, which are 250 meters, 500 meters, 1,000 meters, 2,000. So they're more sprints. And then we have the long distance ones, which you participated in. So the vibe is a little bit different. I think when you do a sprint, your heart races a little bit more. Everybody's lined up, ready to go. You go and turn back, and everything is fast, and everybody's close enough to watch. The long distance, for me, I don't get nervous anymore. I think, yeah, it's kind of you do all the work, just like run. All the practices. You get there, it's like, okay, this is it. We're gonna see what happens. We lay it on the line. So the long distance races go from anywhere from 5 miles to 42 miles. And on. So, and to get ready for those races, it's just all about training, and you get there and you just let it go. Yeah.
But there's different, it's not just, it's not like in a running race, it's everybody. It's like the elites all the way to the back of the packers, right? They all start at roughly the same time. And it's, the first one in is the first one in. There's not a division. But in the outrigger canoeing world, there are divisions. So you could have 15, 20 canoes going off at the same time, but maybe only 3 people or 3 different canoes are in your division.
Yes.
So if I'm a first timer, if I'm new and I want to get into it, am I going to be stuck racing against somebody like you?
Maybe we might just throw you in a race where we know you're going to be able to do well. We do that a lot. If you've been coming out practicing and we want to throw you in a race where you're racing against experienced racers, sometimes we have a lot of guys who fall into that category. Or if you've been paddling just for a short time, they have a division called novice, which is the first 2 years, I believe. And generally they'll race the 5-mile course, but a lot of our novice will race long course as well. So, and when you say the different divisions, that goes from open division, you go to open division and you have different types of canoes, whether it's the ultralight or the heavy fiberglass. And then it goes down, so on masters, senior masters, golden masters, kids. So it breaks up in all the different divisions and the type of canoe you're into.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier, like you've done hundreds of races? I
would say, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So where in the world have you raced?
So I've raced in Hawaii many times. There's the granddaddy race. It's called the Molokai Hoi, which is from Molokai to Waikiki, and that's around 42 miles, and that's a change race, and it's in the Kaiwi Channel. So that's the big one. That's why we train all year for that one race. And then you have Catalina every year. It's a similar race. You race to Catalina one day, and then you come back the next day, but the men and women going off in different days. But sometimes we do both days. And then we have races all the way from SoCal all the way up. I've done races up and down the coast, all over West Coast, all the way up to Portland, Seattle, the Gorge. So mostly West Coast and Hawaii. So
okay, and the kids get to race?
Yeah, the kids can race, and all those races I just talked about, they can race. When you get up towards the Molokai Hoi and the Catalinas, that's they got to be more of 17, 18-year-olds, because those are change races, and those are long 4, 5, 6, 7-hour races.
What does a change race mean?
Change race is you have 6 paddlers in a boat, and you go out and you have 3 in another, like a regular chase boat, we'll call it, a support boat. And those 3 will jump in the water and switch with 3 in the canoe as the day goes on, and you're changing. So you're jumping in the water, the 3, and then the canoe will come up, 3 will jump out, the 3 will jump in, then you go, get some rest, and then you do it again we do it pretty quick, 12 to 15 minutes. Sometimes we'll stretch it out to 20 minutes if the boat's running really good with that certain crew.
How do the kids handle the race? I mean, when they're done, like they've done the race, they come back in. What do you see as the founder, the kids' reaction to a race?
I think with the kids, all the kids we have are from, say, Petaluma, Novato, Santa Rosa, all local kids, and they're only used to the Petaluma River. So when they come out to the river, a lot of them, for the first time, it's something new. A lot of them never even seen an outrigger canoe, and how they got to the marina and into the canoe. They all come from different backgrounds and different reasons why they came. But I think once they get in these races, the first thing they say, that was fun. You know, I had a couple kids say, this is out of my comfort zone. You know, whether they're out in the San Francisco Bay, the Oakland Bay, wherever we go. You know?
Right.
So I think for the most part, it's challenging and fun. So I think that makes them want to come back.
I think that's a perfect description for me, having just trained in the river, and then the first race being in the bay. It is a challenge, but it is fun, and it's a little nerve-wracking because you're not sure of what's going to happen. Okay, for people who haven't paddled and are curious, how do they get a hold of the club?
So the best way to kind of get on our radar, know that you want to come out, is go to our website, kainb.org, KAIWAINB.org. And the first and foremost thing you'll need to do is fill out a waiver, and then you have all our information on that waiver, and we will get a hold of you and let you know when the practices are. And practices are kind of dialing down right now because of the light change in the day. So we'll be just out there on Saturdays here in a couple weeks.
Okay, you also have a video on the website. And can you describe the video a little bit?
Let me think. So the video talks a little bit about where Kai originated, and it has our three founders, me, Tavita Mosi, and Kaimi Kialoa. We all had a vision to start the club. And so it talks a little bit about that, and it talks about where we are and what we're doing, and it's catered towards the kids. We really want to get kids in the canoe more than anything. We want adults to be in there, but the lifeline of this thing is the kids.
Right.
And we're fortunate enough to have the energy and just the community where we can get kids in the canoe.
Okay, if I come out, what equipment do I need?
We have paddles you can borrow, but a lot of them, if you end up staying, it's nice to get your own paddle. So really, it's just like you're going to the gym, and if you're outside, dress a little warm. If it's cold, if it's warm, just wear shorts and a shirt, and you can wear shoes, but if they get wet, sometimes you get a little wet, so you just kind of wear slippers, flip-flops, and just like you're going to the gym, nice comfortable clothes, and bring a bottle of water.
But it's not slippers. How do you really say it?
Well, I say slipper, slipper. So bring your slippers.
Perfect.
So
perfect. And then here's one of the lessons you get. All right. So you'll hear this. If you come on out, and I'm asking you to come on out and give this a try. It's a lot of fun. Keep your top hand above your bottom hand. It's not out here. It's here. And you turn from the side. You don't lean over. So come on out. Thank you very much. That was great. Kaiwai, KAIWAINB.org. The video will run at the end of the podcast. This was fantastic. Thank you very much for being on.
Thanks for having me and being able to talk a little bit about our awesome club.
Great. Thank you.
We started Kaiwai as part of Sea Athletes, non-profit 501c3 down in Salton Sea, in the desert, just south of Palm Springs. That's where the name Kaiwai came from, because the Salton Sea started off as fresh water sourced from the Colorado, and then it turned into an inland lake, a sea of salt with a high salinity, hence the name Kaiwai. And also the tribute to us as individual paddlers, because wherever there is a body of water, we paddle.
For the Keiki program, we wanted to introduce the Tahitian style technique to the kids who've never been on the water. Petaluma River is the biggest park we have, so we wanted to get kids who've never been in a canoe to be able to experience the culture and the lifestyle that canoe brings. And not only that, we take them out to the San Francisco Bay, which a lot of them will say that I've never imagined me sitting in a canoe, being in the open water, in the ocean, in the river, and this is kind of life-changing, because a lot of them haven't been outside of their little bubble, so this gets them out of their world
I'm just hoping that the kids can take away from their experiences paddling through Kai is just a sense of giving them an avenue at which they can come and express themselves openly, hopefully instilling true core values that we can teach them and have them leave here with a sense of accomplishment, something positive, because that's really, like, for me as a kid, it was really an avenue at which kids can come and feel safe, as well as, like, the competing is just the cherry on top.
I love it. I would choose it over any sport. I like being in the number 1 seat because of the stroking. I mean, you get a lot of practice in that seat. And I have another one which is steering, but I'm not that good at it, but it's another way of getting a lot of practice.
Well, my mom made me come, and at first I didn't really want to go, but then I started to like it better once I had done it a few times.
I really like the exercise, and it's really refreshing in the mornings.
I love the races because I get to meet a lot of other paddlers, and it's a way for me to experience something that I've never done before because I've never been in a sport like this, and I also get to travel to a lot of new places.
The one good thing with outrigger canoe paddling is the culture that comes behind the aloha culture, the island culture, and everybody's on equal footing. When we're paddling as one. So it gives us the discipline that comes with training, the discipline of working together as a team. So all those things come with outrigger canoe paddling. Malama I ke kai oe, which is taking care of the sea, the water, and it'll take care of us.
Okay, Gabby, count us out.
1, 2, 3.
Sharks!
Welcome to the Live Explore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe.